Hi, it's Friday, November 7th, and it's an absolutely beautiful autumn morning. You can see last week I ploughed this field. Then it rained a lot afterwards, which developed like a bit of a clay type crust on the top. So I'm just gonna very lightly rake the areas where I'm gonna plant the wheat, just so it's a little bit easier to work with when we actually come to planting the seeds. Let's see how this goes. Some organic spelt there. Got Stephen, we've enlisted Stephen in.
Hi, Bertie. Pushing our wee tractor.
Pushing the little Gombei. This is called a Gombei, and the seeds go down in here along the little conveyor belt and then fall out the bottom. Yeah, so we've given up. I mean, I've given up on raking now because it looks like this machine will split the ground for us. So see how it goes. We've only got another 80% of the field to do, and it's only taken like 2 hours.
See that thing? See, whenever I was just there, of course, whenever they're doing the thing for your shoulders, and I'm like, that thing where like
For you,
the back, and I was like, oh.
Some of the people I was doing the course with, or like some of the people who were like the facilitators.
Yeah. I was just sitting outside, like playing guitar, looking at the moon. It was nice. They do no yaku.
Yeah.
And what they do is like they'll actually they'll go into a field like this,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like, yeah man, like this type of farming is just so much easier, you know.
Last row. Done. Okay, it's now nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've spent the day planting our spelt wheat. First time growing wheat. Had no idea what I was doing, but lots of motivation and lots of help today from Stephen as well. So that was really positive. I started off raking the soil a little bit to break up the crust of like clay on the top, but also partway through we realized, oh, actually, like the machine that plants the seeds breaks up the soil as you go. So I was kind of doing double the work for no reason. So stopped doing that and just went straight in with the Gombei, it's called in Japanese, that little machine that plants the seeds. That was a tricky machine to use because the soil is, in some parts where it's dry, it was really easy, but then some parts where there was clover coverage, it was retaining a lot of moisture, which made the soil really hard and difficult to push that machine through. But we got it done, and all of this is now planted, and we then had some seeds left over, so we decided to use this little area to experiment on different planting styles. Some of this area, Stephen put seeds on top and then just dug it in really roughly. On another part, I think he dug it up, cast the seeds and then stomped on it. Then on another part, just dug it roughly, and then we just threw the seeds on top. And then on this part, just weeds, just basically clover, just threw the seeds on top. And then we'll see what happens. The birds might eat them all, or we might get a very interesting crop of spelt wheat. This has been our first attempt at growing spelt wheat here in the Japanese countryside. Nobody else grows wheat around here, so the local elders have been very interested in what we're doing, which is great. They've been very supportive, and some people were coming out and just saying, "What are you doing?" Because they saw us doing the crab walk with the seed planting machine, and were naturally very interested in what the heck we were doing. The final thing I need to do is I'm going to buy some shiny tape. I don't know if you can see behind me. Ah yeah, here. This little veggie patch here, they've got shiny tape around their veggies. The reason is we get so many deer coming from the forest here, and they come down at night and stand all over the fields and eat the veggies if there are any veggies in there. And shiny tape is their kryptonite. So I'm going to go later today, maybe now, to the home centre, get some shiny tape, and then put it all around the field so that it deters our peckish friends. The sun's going down now. It's been a really good day. It's been even warm, even though it's November, and there's a nice breeze going on. So yeah, really tough, like physically demanding, using that machine, like pushing it along with your hips and trying to figure out, like, because the handle on it is so short. Yeah, the height is not optimal for somebody who's taller than about 3 feet. So you have to kind of push it with the bottom of your legs, and then you have to spread your legs out. Otherwise you're just like using your lower back too much, and you're going to end up giving yourself an injury. So yeah, very cool. Why did I decide to grow spelt wheat? Well, I wanted wheat, but then modern strains of wheat are very high in gluten, and I think I like too much gluten in the diet, even if you're not allergic or even if you're not sensitive to wheat. I think it's still probably best not to have too much in your diet. And also, it's just interesting to have these heritage varieties of wheat. It kind of connects you back to your ancestors and the people of the past who did these things. Oh, and from a purely utilitarian point of view, like the older breeds of wheat are supposedly hardier against disease, hardier against weeds. So it's kind of win-win-win. The only downside is when it comes to dehusking them, that's going to be a pain in the bottom. But harvest is like June, so that's future me's problem, not present me's problem. So come back in June and you'll see how annoyed I am at my decision to plant spelt wheat. If it even comes up, let's see. I'll keep you updated with how it's going, and hopefully we'll have, by summertime next year, some organic, fresh spelt wheat. So for today, on this lovely autumn day, after all that work, as the sun's going down, I'll say, see you next time.